So thanks, Kathy. As she's mentioned, we're from the Research Staff Representative Committee. I'm Michelle, and I'm the rep for the IOPPN.
I'm Alex, and I am the Research Assistant rep for the university.
And this is the rest of the committee. So hopefully you'll recognise at least the representative for your faculty. If not, take a good look here. And we're very welcome to hear your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, anything like that. Please do come and speak to us. Okay, so just a little bit of our background, a bit of why we wanted to join the RSRC. So for me, personally, it's been a great way to find out how King's works as a whole. And also, instead of just sitting complaining about anything I don't agree with, any frustrations, it's actually an opportunity to bring these suggestions higher up and get something done about it.
Yeah, and for me, to build on what Michelle said, I wanted to get involved because I wanted to be a part of the bigger conversations that the university is having and making sure that the change that they are trying to do and implementing, it also affects, and it's more specified to the research assistants as well.
So hopefully you've heard of the Research Staff Representative Committee. If not, I'll just tell you a bit about what we do. Basically, we do what we say on the tin. We represent research staff, and this is across the whole university. And we're trying to improve the experience for research staff. So it's made up of reps from each faculty and also across the different job roles that research staff have. So we have research assistants, technicians, teaching fellows, research associates, postdocs, etc. And in addition to our RSRC meetings, we also sit on a number of other committees that are central to King's. So firstly, the College Research Committee. So this is chaired by Vice President and Vice Principal of Research, Reza, who you heard speak earlier, and also includes the faculty chairs for research. So as you can see, we can get our voice heard at quite a high level. And they work on sorting out the research policy and strategy for the college. So it's quite high-level stuff. As Kathy mentioned, we also communicate with the Centre for Research Staff Development, and we're on the CRSD Oversight Group. So this works on implementing the work towards obtaining the HR Research and Excellence Award and making sure they're doing the right work for research staff. So it's a great way to get research staff representatives together with faculty, research representatives and the CRSD.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. So I think it's important to realise that we are quite new. We've had a revamp, you could say. So even though we are quite new, we think we've had a few achievements to date. So one being, we've contributed to the REF consultation. So the previous REF didn't involve research staff. It didn't include them. They weren't referables. So as the members of the RSRC, we thought we wanted to ask those questions in the consultation of how can research staff contribute. So the result of that and having those conversations is that independent research staff are now referable. We've also been involved in the Careers in Research online survey that Kathy mentioned. So we were able to help contribute and shape some of the questions that would help be more in line with the researchers at King's. One example of one of the results is that, and as Kathy mentioned as well, not to repeat too much, but there was a high incident rate of, there was a high occurrence of people receiving having disrespectful treatment and having unwarranted behaviour in their working environments. So this is something that the RSRC would like to be brought to people's attention, and with that we've formed a working group called Diversion and Inclusion that I'll discuss more in the next slide. And then we also have King's Behaviours as well. So this is a framework that supports the success of all individuals at King's, whether they are academic staff, research staff, professional services or students. and it intends to empower and reflect the strengths of the staff, whilst also showing how the successes can be improved as well, having more successes. So you might recall around the 7th or 8th of September last year that the RSRC hosted several town hall meetings, and this was to allow for research staff to sit and have discussions with the faculty deans and discuss their working environment. This was very important, so that the research staff could discuss with the dean how things can be improved in their environment, what the successes are, what their concerns are, and be able to have it's more of a shared learning process, and to be able to drive that drive changes and having their voice heard from the faculty deans. So that was 2017, but we are very limited on time because we, as well as having this is very much a volunteering role, we do have our research contracts on top of this, which is our priority. So we tried to focus on 3 main priorities this year. So the first goal is looking at research staff career development. So we've produced the working group 1, which is the performance development review. So like Kathy mentioned, a lot of people were happy with their PDRs, but it's come to our attention that not everybody had PDRs, and across different faculties they're all structured slightly differently. So as the RSRC, we're hoping to streamline these. Currently we're working on a draft proposal for a new framework, well, an adaptive framework you could say, and we're working with the HR teams and the strategy and action teams here at King's to be able to produce a new PDR that hopefully will go live next year. The second goal is to increase the visibility of research staff. So the working group 2 looks at diversity and inclusion. So coming back to the results from the cross survey, we want to make the working environment improved, and we want to reduce the incidences of people feeling that they've had disrespectful treatment and behaviour. So what we are doing is working with the diversity and inclusion team along with the CRSD to make sure that a safe environment is available and is there for people to actually voice their concerns and their worries. And then our third goal is to clarify the roles of research staff. So the working group 3 looks at staff job titles. So this is something that is a personal experience of mine, because when I started in my department last January, I was discussing with research staff about the differences in the job titles and what is the expectation of researchers. For example, you get a pre-doctoral research fellow and a research assistant or a research worker. So what we're trying to do is try to understand the expectations within these roles, and the first step towards doing that is clarifying the job titles so there's not as much difference in them. That is just highlights for me that having research staff come and speak to me about their concerns is now something that I can raise within the committee and with the CRSD and HR, and actually it's having an impact. So it highlights, hopefully to you guys, that it is really important for you guys to know who we are, to come and speak to us, and hopefully you can help us set these goals next time around when we're thinking about what we want to achieve in 2019. So I guess we just wanted to share some of our experiences as well. They were our achievements and what our goals are. But from my experience, I started last March with the RSRC as the research assistant representative, and so far I've been included on the CRSD oversight group committee. I've helped be a part of some of the King's policies, and also I've been able to present to you guys today, which in itself is a really important transferable skill that you can always add to your CV.
And although I've only been on the committee for about 6 months now, I really felt involved from the start. So after my very first RSRC meeting, I was invited to attend the CRSD oversight group. And my opinions and that of research staff were sought on redeployment at the end of short-term contracts, also discussions about the difficulties of promotions between grade 6 and grade 7, and also the issues with PDRs, as we've already mentioned. And currently now we're both working on streamlining the PDR process and making it more relevant for research staff. So, as I said, this is who we are, and we're working for research staff, so any questions, any suggestions, please do come and speak to us. However, as I said, we want to represent all faculties and all research roles. So we are currently recruiting. So if anyone's sort of been interested in what the RSRC is doing, please do speak to us. Or if you can see in the back of the brochure, there is a flyer, and more details should be in this Friday's Centre for Research Staff Development newsletter. But please do come and get involved. It's a great opportunity. We're specifically looking for arts and humanities, nursing and midwifery reps, teaching fellow, research assistant technicians. But even if that isn't your department, feel free to come and speak to us and get involved. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions for us, or we'll be around for the rest of the day if you do just want to speak to us.
How do you make sure that you say we can come to you, that's all right. But what do you do to get out to people? I'm asking because I'm one of the departmental reps, and sometimes we find it a bit hard to talk to all the people. I'm in a very big department, so we have lots of research staff, but to get everybody, to hear everybody's views, to take that up higher up. So what do you do? Because I imagine it's even harder for you because you are up here. Obviously you have your own departments, but how do you get
So
out?
I can sort of speak from IOPPN. So I think it helps that I'm the postdoc rep for my department, so that's Wolfson Card. And then from that, I sit on the IOPPN Post-Work Network Committee. And from that, I sit on the RSRC committee. So we've got quite a nice transfer of information. So I can hear information from the postdocs within my department, and then I meet with other postdocs in different departments in the faculty, and they feed up from theirs. And then I can take those concerns to the RSRC and feed back down. So I would say if you're the rep for your department, but not the rep for the RSRC, then I would get in touch with the RSRC rep, and then you can sort of feed directly any concerns or questions from your departmental research staff to the research staff representative rep for your department. Or if there is a gap in your department, get involved.
Can I just add to that the Research Staff Representative Committee actually have their own email address.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to send an email to rsrc@kcl.ac.uk, then that's another way of getting in touch with them.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that at all. There's plenty of opportunity for us to get in touch with them. I was just wondering about.
I think that's something we.
Sometimes which is hard, because that's what I find even within the department. I mean, we hold meetings regularly, but to actually get people to come to the meetings is.
I think it's a big thing about how to get research staff to engage, but it's finding out how best can we do that. So I guess we need to be able to have those discussions with research staff, and hopefully we can speak to a lot of you today and find out how best you would like us to get in contact with you. Because I understand it's not just you come to us. And that's something that I've found difficult, because I'm a research assistant rep for the entire university. That's why we are recruiting for more research assistant reps, because I work at Denmark Hill, and although I did work at Guy's and I know people in the Faculty of Life Sciences and Medicine, and I can contact them, there's many other faculties that I miss and that's just because I don't have those contacts there. So that's something that I'm personally trying to do this year as well. But I think it is about how we can improve that engagement, and that's something that we're working on. So if anybody has any suggestions, more than welcome to come and speak to us. Thank you.